This is my favorite. Someone said, "Nope, I got ADHD." Out of sight, out of mind.
They're honest. I love it. I
Hi,
definitely love it.
hi, y'all. Hey, Bree.
Hey, Ty.
How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing great. How you doing, Bree? How was your weekend? Or how is
Long.
and stuff? No.
Yeah, I already feel like it's over.
Yeah.
It is tiring, but it's the weekend, so I'm still gonna enjoy it, regardless of how tiring it may be.
Can imagine. Well, I hope you get some rest soon. How was your week
Yeah.
though, in general? I mean, it's a new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I know, right? It just doesn't feel like it. It just feels
Mhm.
like, I don't know. New Year's didn't feel like New Year's. It just felt like another day. So hopefully this year is going to be different. Of course, it is what you make it, though, right? So,
So,
how was
so
your New Year?
it was good. I was home resting, and so I don't know. The older I get, the less I want to do on New Year's. I just want to be home, safe,
Yeah,
and cuddled up. So the New Year's stuff, no, great. Can't complain. Any
right.
resolutions? Do you do that?
No, I stopped doing resolutions. Be the best person I can every year. And if I can't, if something happens, I fall short, whatever. It's life.
That's literally what I say. I say I just try to be the better version of me than I was last year.
Yeah,
All right.
too much
So
pressure.
it is too much pressure. And then when you fail, you're like, so not
I ain't
fail,
got
but
time
when
for
you
that.
don't accomplish it, whatever. So,
Right.
well, let's get into it. But so, welcome to another live episode with Ty the Matchmaker. I'm Ty the Matchmaker. You can reach me at Ty the Matchmaker on all social media platforms right now with Simply Bree. Sorry, girl.
Just left me all the way out.
With Simply Bree, we do this every other Saturday weekend just to come on here, talk about everything relationship, and I, of course, answer any questions that you have about dating and matchmaking. So we love to start off with some topics to just get the conversation flowing, take your questions, and just have a good time for the half hour that we're together. So let's jump into it. Today, I want to talk about long distance relationship for two reasons. So I have an event coming up. It's a virtual speed dating event, which I'll talk about later. But
Hey, McCoy.
in my matchmaking, I have a database full of people in all different states. And one of the things that I advise my clients and people that I work with when we're struggling to find dates and people in their city, in their state, I always put it a bug in their ear about dating long distance. And so I wanted to talk about that. Some people are for it, some people are not with it. So I post the question on some Facebook groups that I'm in and got some really interesting responses, and I'll go through them and we'll talk about it. And Bria, I want to hear your feelings and attitudes toward long distance relationships. So first, have you ever had a long distance relationship? If so, how was it? What are your feelings about it? What are your thoughts? Let's start with
So I actually did have a long distance relationship, and I was catfished.
how long were
Yeah,
you
I
with this
was.
person?
So I was talking to this person. We met online. I was talking to this person for about almost a year. And, we talked about meeting in person. And I should have knew because I had caught him in a lie as far as his picture. And I confronted him about it. And that's when he admitted, it was a self esteem type of thing. So I'm like, well, just show me who you are. And so, he sent his actual picture. And I'm like, you're still handsome. So, like, I don't understand it. But yeah, so ultimately, I mean, we talked every day on the phone, we text, and ultimately I did end up moving, and I ended up moving closer to where he was, not intentionally, but it just so happened to work out that way. And it was just like, we've been talking for this time. It's time to meet, right? And he went ghost. It was just like he disappeared.
He was
So,
catfish. That's why he
because he was a
disappeared.
I should have found Neve.
And how long ago
Like,
did you say you were talking to him?
I was talking to him for like a year.
For a year?
A
Where did
year.
he live?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I am still open to long distance dating, but I'm at the point where I'm like, if I'm gonna date someone long distance, it needs to make sense, right? So you have to be somewhere close to bordering states where if I want to see you or make it a weekend trip, that's possible. And the ultimate goal should be relocating to another state. Like, or
Yeah.
we both move to a whole different state and start over.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm still open to long distance dating. I don't see any problem with that.
That's great. Well, it's really good to hear that you're still open to it, even though that your first one or
That
was the
was
person
my
who asked?
first and only. That was my
First and
first and
only.
only.
So a lot of people would have been like, nope, no more
Mhm.
after, a year and getting catfish. So it's good that you're still open and you're like, that was
Yeah.
this person and you still giving it a chance. So, and I think I want to hit on a point that you made that the goal should be we eventually live in a state together. So
Mhm.
that's something I just want to highlight that you said, which I tell all my clients, like, especially I work with 30 to 40-year-olds, we're kind of mature, seasoned, and ready to um get it going, be intentional about what we're doing here. And so no one's gonna wait 3 years, or 6 years. So usually I would say between 6 months to a year, depending on how old you are, depending on, the vibes, you should be talking about where we live in, are we moving forward, who X, Y, and Z. And then
Right.
the other thing, so I'll go into advice. The other thing I advise is if you're dating long distance, if someone has to like somebody's state or agreed upon, right? Like I I'll give you an example. Like I've never thought about living in Alabama. Like I'm such a city
Yeah.
girl. Like I'm a New Yorker. I live in Jersey City now. So Alabama is just not a place. I'm sure a great place. It's just not a place I see myself living.
Right.
So if I'm long distance with someone, I would hope they would be thinking about moving here to the East
Mhm.
Coast, because I'm definitely not moving there. Or maybe there's
Hey,
a place
Ashley.
that we both like. Texas has been a place that I've been eyeing to move. So if
Yeah.
that person is like, okay, I still want to live in the South, maybe I don't want to be in a big city, and I'm like, hey, I want to live side and Z. So just keep that in mind that you're either gonna look to move to that person's state or you have a state in mind that you both are interested in looking at to make a home.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Let me give some shout outs really quickly because we
sure.
do have some people that are actually subbing to the channel. So, Ashley, thank you so much for subbing. And I know McCoy also subbed. So, we appreciate you guys' support. And also, chime in on the conversation. Like, would you actually be open to dating long distance? Like, put it in the chat and we'll definitely put your comment up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for that. All right, so I'm just gonna go through some of the comments from the Facebook page where I posted this question, and
Mhm.
we'll chat about it. So one person said, "I've been in a long distance relationship before, and after that breakup, I cut off the concept of long distance. But after
Mm.
long decisions, I am open to long distance again. I am also for meeting in the middle, relocating. I think my person may be in another
Love us.
state, but anything is possible. Yes,
Yeah.
which is another thing that I tell my clients. Your person might be, especially if you live in big cities where it could be a little hard to find
Yeah.
someone because it's the competition is rough out there, especially the ladies.
Right. Yeah.
And I have a
I
theory, and I don't know if it's true, but so far I've been good with this theory that big city girls and southern boys, I see it work out all the time.
yeah.
So I would, so if you're in a big city and you're a woman, I would say, and you're open to long distance, I would say look at those southern gentlemen,
Yeah.
I think they just bring out that softness in us big city girls who have to tough
Mhm.
it out here in the East Coast. So Anyway, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Love, and I'm from the city. I absolutely love me a countryman. Like, I love the accent, I love the style, and when I say country, I'm talking about those boots, cowboy boots. I'm talking about the Wrangler jeans. I love me a black rodeo. Like, that
Oh,
chef's kiss because it's the opposite of what you're used to. And like they say, opposites attract. But I love me a country man. I like a city guy too. You know, they be a little slick at the mouth, but I love me a country man.
no, I hear you. I hear you. That's Southern charm. It gets you all.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Southern men out there. Southern, whoop, whoop, South,
Southern gentleman.
Sun Southern gentleman. Yeah. So another comment said, another state question mark. Maybe. I'm not moving though. I've already moved and desiring to put down roots. So going
Okay.
back to what I said before, somebody has to at least be open to moving somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So go ahead.
So then it has to make sense at the end of
Yeah.
the day. Like, for example, if you work for yourself, if you're an entrepreneur and your partner is a doctor, then you might have to pick up Miss or Mr. Entrepreneur and move where, they have this residency. But
Mhm.
like you say, someone has to ultimately be the one to move. And it's not always based on if you're a male or a female and the man has to move or the woman has to move. But it's definitely a conversation that should be had, especially when there are children involved. Because, okay, so let me ask you this. If the woman has a child and she's a single mother and the child is under 10, who are we expecting to get up and move, relocate?
Yeah, that's a conversation. Like that's literally a conversation that you would have to have. What
Mhm.
does the partner do? What does the partner's job? Can they leave and move to
Right,
you or vice versa? 10 years old, is it uprooting that person? You're
right.
co-parenting. What does that look right? So I think co-parenting with any kid that's younger than like a 17-year-old would probably be hard to move
Oh,
that
yeah.
person to another state.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might, be something that's something you might want to think about. And if the person doesn't have kids and can find new work there or their work is they're able to work remotely or they're able to transfer to another state, that might work. So yeah, definitely hard conversations to have. All right. Another person said, I'm completely open to long distance and relocating as long as it's in, and they give all the states as
Oh,
long as it's in Tennessee, Florida, Gainesville, Florida, Quincy, Florida, they like Florida. Um,
it's probably the heat and the beaches or something.
Yeah, so again, which goes back to what I was saying, like if you are going to open yourself to online dating, long distance dating, you might want to date somebody that lives in a state that you can actually see yourself moving to. Be a little
Right.
strategic about it. Okay. Say
So
something.
in that case then, because you did mention, like, online dating too, it would make sense to put your location as the state that you are willing to move to, should you find said person, because I mean, if what's the sense of matching with someone if you put 500 miles as your radius? What's the sense of matching with someone who's in a different state that you're not really interested in moving to? I mean, you got to think wisely about it.
Yeah, a good point. So for my online daters, I would say exactly what you just said for you. Like put the state that you're interested in moving to or you wouldn't mind moving to. And on your profile, let them know I live here and
Mhm.
I'm open to long distance and would possibly moving so that that person knows like we could chat. And if they're
Yeah.
also interested in long distance dating, that can work. So
Mhm.
great point for online daters. All right, let's see someone who is not. Let's see. How about outside the country? That's a little
That
dicier for me.
yeah. Yeah, cuz The thing is, right, I even though I'm older, I'm not like 21 or 22. It's a big shocker. I would fear trafficking. I would fear definitely being catfished. I would I don't know. I don't know about the country, like leaving out of the country. That's a big pill to swallow. And you're leaving behind your support system. So if you have family that's either in the same state as you or nearby, you're leaving that all behind. Now, if we get together in a relationship and then we both make the decision to move out of the country, that's a different story. But me moving because that's where you live,
I mean, I've seen on the news that, a lot of people are like looking to move outside the country. If that, again, if that's something you're looking to do in general, might not be the bad thing. I
yeah,
feel like that is more of a young person's thing, right? Because you're
yeah,
younger, you don't have that much responsibility. You can take the risk to get up and go and make that. That's a big, big decision.
yeah.
To
And
right.
then what if it doesn't work? You in a whole different country.
You in a whole yeah. So that again, like be prepared to make it on your own.
Yeah,
So before you do it, make sure it's someplace that if anything would happen, you'd be okay with, starting over by yourself. So
yeah.
it's
Have a backup plan.
have a backup plan for sure. All right. This is funny. This is my favorite. So what's said, nope, I got ADHD. Out of sight, out of mind.
They're honest. I love it. I
I
definitely love it.
actually have experienced this before. If you're new to it, like that first month, you kind of forget.
Damn, I'm in a relationship.
Like, oh yeah, I forgot. So I thought that was really funny. That out of sight, out of mind. Someone that yes, I used to think my person was down south or in Philly, but once I grew a little, I realized that she may have been in my backyard the whole time.
Mm,
So
I can see that. That happens a lot. I think that once you go through a lot of failed attempts at dating, you start to look at what's around you before you step outside of the state. So now we can get into the nitty gritty, right?
what's up?
Because I feel like there are definitely a lot of things that people have to take into consideration when it comes to long distance dating, right? For example, the communication. Like, what's your expectations when it comes to the amount of communication? Are you looking for your partner to reach out to you daily, or are you okay with them reaching out to you once a week? Or what if, they're just busy, but yet they're always posting online? How would you feel? So I think it's things like that that people have to also consider.
Yeah, I think with why do I keep saying online dating? With long distance dating, you have to be a lot more intentional about your communication. So just a lot more intentional with responding, with reaching out, right? Some people are in general just aren't, people who need to hear from you every day or whatever.
Right.
So again, it's the conversation with that person. And
Yeah.
then establishing norms. That's really
Mm,
important. Establishing norms like, okay, we see each other once a month. So making sure that you keep those times, right? Or
yeah.
like we FaceTime or whatever. So, whatever the norms you establish, adhere to it and make sure that you're being intentional when you're communicating because the person isn't around and you don't want anybody to start to get nervous about their place and what
Yeah.
you're doing and all of that, right? So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's a great point.
That's that clarification that you need.
Communication. Everything
Yeah.
comes down to communication.
Mm.
Uh,
What are some red flags that someone
Not communicating.
look for might look for in a long distance, not even relationship, but dating? You're not really exclusive. What's some red flags to you?
I think communication, the joke, like I said it jokingly, but communication or a lack thereof is a big red
Mhm.
flag when you're long distance dating. So if the person's not getting back to you, and granted, people get busy, but if it's like a thing,
Yeah.
if it there's always that. I tell women there's always, if it makes you anxious, if that relationship makes you anxious all the time, that's a problem. Like you shouldn't feel
Mhm.
like, is he doing every time you wake up? Like,
Right.
so if you're having those feelings or you're having issues with having that person return a call or just acknowledging that you need some TLC virtually, or
Yeah.
maybe the person doesn't ever want to FaceTime. I would say that's a red flag. Like
Mhm.
just never want to FaceTime,
Mhm.
or there's always specific times that they're like adamant, like
My
oh,
wife is
this
asleep now, I can talk to you.
that's basically it. My wife is asleep, right? So we're smart. Don't let those red flags. Don't paint them pink.
Right.
Because you like the person. Really face them because it's gonna save you a lot of time and heartache.
So, what if like that person, like the anxiety is just who that person is? There's
And you need to
nothing
go to
that the
therapy.
partner is doing.
Like that's true. Then you need to go to therapy because everybody's gonna do this to you. Then you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
and
Now,
long distance
now
is definitely not for you.
regular distance. No,
No
no
distance is
distance for you, right? So yeah, definitely. If you're just a person who's just anxious all the time when someone's not calling you, that's something nobody could solve.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What about okay, so there was this coworker that I had, and she was getting to know this younger girl. When I say younger, my coworker was like in her 50s, and the girl she was talking to was in her early 20s. And my coworker had just gotten out of a marriage, so she's like living her best life and stuff. And so she meets this girl online, and the girl lived in North Carolina. Red flag number one was that they never FaceTimed, right? Even I learned my lesson. Red flag number two was when they actually did FaceTime, she was a whole different ethnicity. Like, not only was she not the person in the picture, she was completely a whole
Yeah.
different person. But yet she continued to pursue it, right? And I used to ask her questions like, what do you know about this person? And that's one of the things that can be a red flag, because if the person's not willing to share details about themselves, like job details or their last name or city specifics, things like that, what's really going on? And so,
Yeah.
long story short, when she went out to meet the girl, they met in a hotel. The girl drove a rental because she didn't want her to know her license plate because she was going to run them license plate tags. It was just a big thing. Like, what are you doing here? There were so many red flags in the situation, but it happens. Like, people literally get caught up. So, you're getting to know someone and they're not willing to share, details about themselves. If they have children, children's names, family, if you don't know nothing about their family, like, do you continue to pursue this?
No, because you wouldn't do it just in general, right? So I think the biggest difference with long distance relationship is again being more intentional about your communication
Mhm.
and setting some norms around communication. But other than that, it's like any other relationship, right? So
Yeah.
if the person you met at a bar in your state wasn't sharing anything about themselves, was hiding
Mhm.
things, didn't want you like those are red flags all around, whether you're in my
Right.
state or out of my state. So
Yeah.
what we need to do is again, like I mentioned, see the red flags for what they are. And I know sometimes loneliness can make people overlook it and like, oh,
Mhm.
or there's some people who just are just curious and down with the drama because they're bored, right? Like this don't sound right, but you're like,
Yeah.
I'm curious,
Why not? Yeah.
why not? Well, that like, it's the consequences are at the end, whatever they may be at the end of this. So save yourself some time, trust your gut, trust your instincts, ask questions,
Mhm.
and if something doesn't feel right, mention it. If still don't feel right, get out.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen to your instinct. Yeah. Listen to your gut, your intuition. Like, your intuition is not going to lead you in the wrong direction. And if you are spiritual, pray to God. Ask God for clarity. Ask Him for signs.
Yes, pray for discernment, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want in the vein of long distance. So, like I mentioned at the top of this, because I have so many clients who are in all different states, and I have been someone who's saying like, listen, if you are not able to find someone in your state, why not take a chance if you haven't already? If you're comfortable with it, if you want to try it, try someone outside your state, maybe the next state over, or maybe a state that you could see yourself moving to if the right person comes along. So, with that said, I decided to bring for all of you clients and non-clients a virtual speed dating that I will be hosting. It will be February 1st on a Sunday at 6 p.m. So the way it's gonna work, you're gonna have 8 mini dates, 2 minutes, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but us women, we can tell real quick
Yeah.
whether we want to keep talking to that person. So I always say if the 2 minutes went by really fast and you enjoy the conversation, that's a good sign. If that
Mhm.
2 minutes go by real slow,
You're like, bro.
that is not so. The 2 minutes can be whatever it's meant to be, right? So
Yeah.
and so it will be 2 minutes, 8 dates, 8 mini dates, and the format again will be virtual. So I see a lot of you on doing the live speed dating on Instagram and live speed dating on TikTok. So
This ain't it.
this ain't it. It's not gonna be that, although I love those. I watch them myself.
I do
And
too.
as a matchmaker, it's all about just respecting people's privacy. So this will not be like filmed or anything. This isn't for content. This is
Right.
work for me at least. So I will be hosting it, and we will have a people for you to go. It will be on Zoom. You'll go to breakout rooms in pairs and have 2 minutes to chat and get to know someone. And after that we'll send you a survey so you can rank all the people you've spoken to, and then your top three will send you with their if you both match
Mhm.
and say that you like each other. We'll send you at least 2 to 3. Hopefully, you'll have more, but 2 to 3 that like you and you like them. We'll send you their contact information, and and I'll let you take it from there. So why virtual? 'Cause I know I'm all about taking online dating offline. That's like my
Right.
brand.
Yeah.
So I will be doing events that are offline where you can come together in real life. But here's the reasons. A, I talked about long distance, right? So it'll get you to see and match with if you're interested in maybe exploring long distance dating. This is a cool way to get that started, right? And we are looking at cities, major cities, and also a little bit of the South. So we're looking for people in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia. So these are the places that we're all of our singles are going to be coming from. Age range 30 to 40 years old. And here's the thing, if you are open to long distance relationship and you live, let's say, in Texas, and you'll be matched and talking to someone from Texas too. Like there'll be everybody from those states. So if you meet someone also in Texas, great. If you meet somebody in New York and you're like, man, that person's great, and I'm open to long distance, great too. So it can be whatever you want it to be. But it's a quick low pressure way to meet someone for those who are always like, well, I talk to her first and see if this is a quick mini date. You ain't got to spend no money. So you can get to know her. And then at the end, you'll see the person. Obviously, it'll be like virtual, cameras on, all
Mhm.
that good stuff. And then you'll get their phone number within an hour. You'll get the phone number and you'll know who during those dates matched with you. So really super easy. 1 hour, 8 dates. What do you have to lose?
Right. Yeah. And like she said, the privacy is what's important because I know that in watching the speed dating shows on TikTok, it's nerve wracking right? Because the world can see what is transpiring and they can actually form their opinions. And so a lot of people find themselves up there, but reading the comments. Like I've gone up there one time for two different shows, and it's like, yeah, it's like I'm looking at the comments because the comments will tear you apart. So you can tell whether they like you or not. So you're not even focusing on the actual
Yeah.
conversation that you're having with the host. But with this, you actually have the opportunity to be one on one with you and said dates, right? You don't have to worry about people peeking in and seeing what's going on. You literally have that privacy. And I think that's what sets this aside from all of the other ones because there's no pressure. There is no, you have to say this answer or that answer. Like, your answer is your answer, and
Yeah.
that's all that matters, right? So, I think that is gonna be a wonderful opportunity for singles to step outside of your comfort zone, like, do something different.
Yeah. No, 100%. And just a couple of more things. When you sign up on Eventbrite, tickets are on sale right now. Once you sign up, you fill out the form, and then I have a quick 10-minute conversation with you. We like schedule it because I want to make sure that, A, you're a person, and B, you're intentional and you want to come. The conversation is going
Yeah.
to be real quick. Hey, da da da, where you from? What you looking for? Okay, great. Can't wait to see you next week or whatever on February 1st. So that's going to be the quick conversation. So that's the screening that we do. So it's really important that you schedule that. The other thing is that I want to make sure that everyone there is, and this isn't entertainment. So that's another reason
Right.
why I'm not doing it live, like to your point. So, and I'm totally fine with that entertainment. Like it's cool. I watch it too. But everyone there is going to be, intentional, hopefully intentional in what they're looking for. And so that's the reason why we do the screening. Again, tickets for men are on sale right now on Eventbrite. And for y'all, because I adore y'all, I am going to give a promo code so that you can register and come for free. We still have to go
Mm.
through the process.
Yeah.
Still have to get through the process, fill out the form, do the 5-10 minute call with me, but it'll be free. Go to Eventbrite. You can see it on my page. I've been promoting it, so you'll find it. And enter the promo code find me a match. All one word, all caps. Enter that promo code. And you will get the tickets for free to come. So that's my that's my deal with you all. So do that. Would love to have you. Men's tickets. Yes, that's what I was saying. Men's tickets are on sale now. Women's tickets are not on sale right now. Women's tickets will be available January 20th. For the men, I only have 12 tickets available right now for men. Spots are moving, so get your tickets, get in. The promo ends on the 17th. So you have 7 days
Mhm.
to go register, and I'd love to see you there. And I can't wait for you to meet each other and hopefully something sparks. If you know a single man or woman that would be great for this, pass it along. Sharing is caring. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Long distance might be the thing, y'all. And you never know. You might just need to move. And this might be it. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Are you
Yeah, it
gonna come?
definitely sounds fun. I'm definitely gonna be there. I'm gonna get my ticket when she opens the tickets for women because I wanna try something different, right? And hopefully my Prince Charming will join and we match. So I can't wait. I'm excited. So, in wrapping things up, how can people find you on social media?
Social media, you can find me at Ty the Matchmaker on all platforms on Instagram and TikTok. Ty the Matchmaker. That's all, folks.
All right. And then you guys can find me across all social media as well. My handle is going to be I am simply Bree. And I do have a website. I do want to make a couple of announcements. My website is iamsimplybree.com. If you want to find out more about the network, visit he said what network.com, where you can see all of the shows that we have currently airing, as well as just stay in tune for any upcoming shows, because we got another show that's getting ready to start. So
Woo.
I don't want you guys to miss out about that. I am looking for guests. If you are single, male or female, and you are looking to put yourself out there, let's say, you don't want to get on one of those matchmaking shows, right? And have everybody in your business, but you want to put yourself out there, right? All you have to do is sign up to be a guest. You can go to my website and look for the apply/inquire button. Or if you are on TikTok, just go to my profile and click apply, fill out the short form, and then we'll go ahead and schedule a one-on-one so we can do a chemistry test just to see, or chemistry vibe or vibe check, just to see, if this is going to be a good fit for you, and we'll take it from there. Once again, and that show is called Black and Available. If you haven't seen it already, go to He Said What Network on YouTube and check out my guest, Rebecca from New Orleans. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Very, very dope energy. Check her out. And yeah, that's all I got.
Oh,
I'm done. Any final
okay.
words for the people?
People, go on my Instagram and get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Only 12
Yes.
spots left for men. Promo ends January 16th. Women's tickets go on sale on the 21st. We're going to have a good time. There's going to be lots of games while others are dating. We'll be in the room joking, playing some games, doing some. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to see you.
Yes. So
Bye.
until the next time, you guys, we'll check you later. Adios.
Bye.